Bihari Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Varivakajara Sadhasi Samad, His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Jaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Varivakajara Sadhasi Samad, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. You give me a glass with no water in. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All together, please. Om Jnana Timirandasya Ganandana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Prijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padang Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karana Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Govika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapcha Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sudadeve Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, translation and commentary, His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So, today, 11th chapter, Universal Form, text number 53, correct? So, okay, please repeat. Nāhaṁ vedair na tapasā na dānena cejyayā śakya evam-vidho dṛṣṭavān asi mam yathā nāhaṁ vedair na tapasā na dānena na cejyayā, śakya evaṁ-vidho draṣṭuṁ, dṛṣṭavān asimam yathā, nāhaṁ vedair tapasā, na dānena na cejyayā, śakya evaṁ-vidho draṣṭum, dṛṣṭavān asimam yathā, nāhaṁ vedair tapasā, na dānena na cejyayā, śakya evaṁ-vidho draṣṭum, dṛṣṭavān asimam yathā, nāhaṁ vedair tapasā, na dānena na cejyayā, śakya evaṁ-vidho draṣṭum, dṛṣṭavān asimam vedaḥ yathā. Okay, go ahead. nāhaṁ vedair tapasā, So, please repeat. Nāhaṁ, never. Aham, I. Vedair, by study of the Vedas. Na, never. Tapasā, by serious penances. Never, na. Never. Dānena, by charity. Na, never. Cha, also. Ijyayā, by worship. Śakya, it is possible. Evam-vidho, like this. draṣṭuṁ, to see. dṛṣṭavān, seeing. A see. You are. Mam, me, yathā, as. So, translation Srila Prabhupada. The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am. Please repeat. The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am. Purport Srila Prabhupada. Krishna first appeared before his parents, Devakī and Vasudeva, in the four-handed form, and then he transformed himself into the two-handed form. This mystery is very difficult to understand for those who are atheists or who are devoid of devotional service. For scholars who have simply studied Vedic literature by way of grammatical knowledge or mere academic qualifications, Krishna is not possible to understand. Nor is he to be understood by persons who officially go to the temple to offer worship. They make their visit, but they cannot understand Krishna as he is. Krishna can be understood only through the path of devotional service, as explained by Krishna himself in the next verse. Mukam karochi vachalam pangam laite girim yad kripatam aham bande Sri Gurun dinatarinam nāhaṁ vedena tapasā dānena na cejyayā śakya evaṁ-vidho draṣṭuṁ dṛṣṭavān yathā. The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am. So this is very similar to last week's verse, is it not? Right? What did we do last week? 40 something? Yes, 48. I'll just read the English. O best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine. For neither by studying the Vedas, that's in today's verse, nor by performing sacrifices, that's in today's verse, nor by charity, nor by pious activity, nor by severe penances, can I be seen in this form in the material world. Right? So very similar. So Krishna in this chapter, he displays to Arjuna three forms. He displays the universal form, he displays the four-armed form just before this, and he now displays his Shyam Sundar, Tribhanga. And each one of them cannot be seen by the materialist, who may be performing pious activities even, what to speak of the demoniac, but this is studying the Vedas. Oh, well, that is very similar to what we hear in the Brahma Samhita, right? We talked about this last week. Vedaisha durlabham. Oh, it's very difficult to understand Krishna through the Vedas. Lekin adolabham, not difficult, atma bhakto, by devotion. This is the point. Nor by serious penances, tapasā. Tapasā usually means, just like we did nirjal. I hope everyone did nirjal a few days ago. So that is painful, right? Usually tapasā means there's some physical inconvenience, even pain. So nirjal in the hot season, that is very difficult. But that is tapasā. And then, nor by worship. That's very interesting, by worship. We're encouraged, Lord Brahma says, Vajagovindam, 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 Namudan. So, sorry, that is Shankaracharya. Lord Brahma says, Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So why is Krishna saying? Well, the word here is not bhajan, it is ijyayā, by worship. It is not by these means that you can see me as I am. So that is the point. Atma bhakto. Bhaktyam aham abhijanati. Right? And Prabhupada ends this purport by saying, one can only see Krishna by Atma bhakto, by the path of devotional service, as explained by Kṛṣṇa himself in the next verse. So what is that next verse? Very famous verse. Bhaktya tvananyaya śakya aham evam-vidho jana jatum draṣṭum ca tatvena praveshtum ca parantapa. Oh, my dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mystery of my understanding. Yes. So only by bhakti, Krishna is revealed. Right? So, very interesting here. Undivided devotional service. So what is that shloka? Huh? Jnana kamadi anavritam anukulyena Krishna anushelanam. Right? That undivided means unalloyed. One time, there's a story of Prabhupada, and he was going on the morning walk, and he was walking by a bridge. And the bridge said, built with unalloyed steel. Unalloyed means unmixed, pure steel. So unalloyed bhakti, or undivided bhakti, means what? Bhukti mukti siddhi kami. There is no desire for bhukti. That means the result of pious activity, karma. This is karmavadi or kama mishra bhakti. It means that bhakti is being performed, but there's an idea, I'll get some material result. I'll become rich. I'll become free of disease. I'll become famous. I'll have nice children. I'll have a good dynasty. Lord Chaitanya has said, na dhanam na janam na sundarim. Generally the karmi is very interested in money, jana, followers. That means position in society, respectable position. I'm a big man. And then sundarim, it means beautiful women, and then that expands into beautiful children. That increases my opulence. So that is Kama Mishra Bhakti. If somebody is performing bhakti with that mixture, that cannot reveal Krishna. Only by undivided service. And then there's Jnana Mishra Bhakti. Actually, there is also siddhi. Kama Mishri is also sometimes people, they perform devotional service and they want siddhi. That means material perfections. Anima, lagima, there are 8 material perfections. Prapti, so on and so forth. That pratikulya, that you can achieve all sorts of material powers. That is called siddhi kami, who wants material perfection. So these are the subtle material perfections. The karmi, he wants the gross material perfections. He wants money in the bank, he wants social position, he wants sex life and the expansions of sex life. So this is gross. But the siddhi kami, I want to be able to fly in the sky. I want perfection over the material energy. These are called siddhas. In the teachings of Lord Rishabhdev, the siddhas are mentioned. We're on earth, so this is Bhuloka. Then above us, we're in these gross bodies. Then above us are the bhuta, the ghostly beings. Generally, they don't have a gross body to the extent we have. They have subtle material body, and there are so many of them, yakshas, bhutas, pretas, so on, pichashas, some of them nasty, some of them not too bad. But above them are the Gandharvas, the heavenly singers, and they have apsaras also at that level. But then above them are the siddhas. The siddhas, they have these material perfections. They can travel throughout the universe through different pantas. Panta means between different lokas. So they're called siddhas. Above them are the asura. The asura are the materialistic subtle beings. Above them are the devas. And then above them is Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Lord Brahma is the emanation point of Lord Shiva in his Leela, and so he's considered superior, Brahma. And then there are the Brahmins, and Krishna says in the teachings to Rishabhdev, I consider the Brahmins the best of all. So what is a real Brahmin? Because everyone is saying, I'm a Brahmin, my name is Sharma, I am a Brahmin. So Brahmana Janati Brahman. The Vedic definition is that the Brahmana knows the Supreme. He knows the material energy, he knows what is Brahman, he knows what is Paramatma, he knows the spiritual world. He is fully cognizant. He is a rishi. That is a Brahmana, a knower of Brahman, the Supreme, in all his variety. So Krishna says, I am above Lord Brahma, right? Svetadvip is above Satyaloka, but I consider the Brahman superior to me. Very interesting. So the siddhas, they are above the Gandharvas generally in their powers. Narada Muni, previously he was a Gandharva. He got in trouble. But anyway, we'll not talk about that now. But the thing is, so that is Kama Mishra. They want gross material wealth in this material world, and the siddhas, they want subtle material wealth. But then there is the muktikami. Those people, they want liberation from the material energy. They don't want any entanglement. They want to be liberated. This is the jnanis often are interested, those that follow the path of knowledge. They have understood through knowledge that the material world is always a birth of suffering. If you're a siddha or a human or a devata or an asura or a Gandharva, it's all temporary, and whatever your life, there is inebriety, there is suffering, adidevic, adiatmic, adibodhic misery. So the jnani wants liberation, and so he may be performing bhakti, but he can't see Krishna. He may get mukti, we'll explain that in a minute, but he can't see Krishna. He may enter the Brahman, but he can't get to relate to Krishna personally, as I am. So this is jnana kamadi anavritam. This is bhakti mixed with these desires, siddhi, mukti, and karma. So, actually, they are not entirely condemned. In the Bhagavatam it says, akama, savakama, mukshakama, udharyadi. Tivrena bhakti yogena, yajita purusham param. Akama, if you have no material desire, sarvakama, all material desire for dhanam, janam, sandarim, or mukshakama, you want to be liberated, still you should worship the Supreme Lord. Because you will get those things. Yathā mam prapadyante tamsteva bhajamiya aham. Krishna will give you. Krishna is a desire tree. Whatever you worship him for, he will give you. You want material opulence? Dhruva Maharaj, he got a big kingdom, right? You want liberation? Okay, you can go to the Brahman. You have no material desires? I'll put you into touch with the pure devotees. So, you should always worship Krishna rather than a different demigod, because Krishna condemns that. He says, those that worship the demigods, they're ritagyan. If you want the best result, you should go to the top. You should go to the Supreme Lord, not his underling, his less powerful servants. So it's okay to do that, because you'll get the result of your activity, but you will develop the habit, you will develop the faith in Krishna bhajan, even if it is mixed. So that will continue. And that is why the story of Dhruva is very important. Because he worshipped Krishna, he wanted a big kingdom. But once he had his kingdom, then Krishna, he said, I don't want the kingdom, I want your service. I was looking for broken glass, but now I found a jewel. So I want your bhakti. So, akama, savakama, mukshakama, udharyadi. Whether you have bhukti, mukti, siddhikami, whether you have these desires, you should still worship Krishna. But the important point is, they are steps along the way. The real thing is anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhakti uttama. That the highest bhakti is undivided. That means the devotee is anukulyena. It means that he's just out of bhava, out of prem, he's worshipping Krishna. Like we see in the Vrajavasis. The Vrajavasis, they worship Krishna, but they're not thinking, I'll become wealthy, I'll get mystic power, I'll become famous, I'll become liberated. They are worshipping through spontaneous love, right? So the devotee who's properly understood, properly instructed, he understands this is the goal. This is undivided bhakti, and he keeps this conception in mind as he does his bhajan. And then by the grace of Krishna, he develops undivided bhakti tvananya, undivided bhakti. And then he can get the darshan of Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. Because that is the area where all the undivided devotees live. The Madhurya Bhaktis, the Gopis, the Manjaris, they are all living there. They're all pure Prem Bhaktas. Those in Vatsalya Bhav, they're all pure Prem Bhaktas. Those that are in Śakya Bhav are all pure Bhaktas. Those that are in Dasya Bhav, they're all pure Bhaktas. They are not trying to get any result. They are just spontaneously loving. Material example is like the mother. She has a child. So she spontaneously loves the child. and she loves the child for the sake of the child. This is material example. But in the spiritual world, there is none of this, I want a result. Right? Now, very important point is, I was reading about 5 days ago, the writings of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. And he says some very interesting points. He says that the devotee, he has no problem with the demoniac or the asura or the materialist. The materialist may, oh, look at that devotee, he's not enjoying life, he's just chanting, he's living in Vrindavan, doing meditation, he's a fool. He should be enjoying the cricket match. He should be getting a big plasma TV. He should be traveling to Tahiti. He should have a beautiful wife dressed in silk and gold. He should have all those things like me. He's a fool. So the materialist may look at the devotee like that, or the demoniac person, he may be very envious, and he'll look at these devotees, they're chanting Hare Krishna. Why don't they go home? Huh? Why are they chanting in the street? They should go home and sleep. So they can't really disturb the devotee because upeksha, the devotee just thinks, never mind. But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta explains something very interesting. He says the devotee should be very careful about what he calls the Dharma Advaji. The Dharma Advaji, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta explains, is the person who appears to be religious. He appears to be performing bhakti, but he is full of material desire. He's full of desire for siddhi. He's full of desire for moksha. And so, just like Putana looked very beautiful, right? And people saw Putana, oh, she's so beautiful, so attractive. So the Dharma Advaji, he may seduce the naive bhakta, the immature devotee, into karma mishra bhakti, into mukcha, the desire for mukti, the desire for siddhi. For example, if you serve a devotee, and that devotee is very interested in having a big Rolex and a big bank account, wearing gold bangles and silk, what did Lord Chaitanya indicate to Sanatana Goswami? Sanatana Goswami went to Lord Chaitanya with a fancy blanket, and he immediately understood, right? You know the story? Sanatana Goswami, I shouldn't have this fancy blanket because I have to practice vairag, detachment from material opulence. So if you associate with a Dharma Advaji, you may think, oh, this devotee is getting a big salary from the temple. This devotee has got a very opulent home with 5 ACs. This devotee has got a big motor car, and that is the aim of bhakti. Now the naive bhakta may be seduced in that way, but the devotee of knowledge is not. And that is why Srila Bhaktisiddhanta is pointing this out, that we should understand what pure, unmotivated bhakti is. Pure, unmotivated bhakti is practiced by the Vrajavasis. They are worshipping Krishna out of love. They are not looking to get a result other than the pleasure of Krishna. They don't want dhanam, they don't want position, followers, they don't want sex life, They just want Kṛṣṇa to be happy. So this is cultivated by the devotee who is Rupa Raghunatha Pade, follower of Rupa Raghunath. Rupa means he's the acharya for Abhideya, and Raghunath is the acharya for prayojan. So the devotee understands prayojan means that described by the Vrajvasis in the 10th canto. There is no desire for a result. It is spontaneous. And so that is pure bhakti. And it is that form of bhakti is the actual form of bhakti. You understand? There is no other form of real bhakti. There is in the Gita, Krishna at the beginning, you will find, if you look at the word for word, buddhi yoga. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pratibodhakam dadami buddhi yogam. So the sadhaka, buddhi yoga, he is not on this platform of spontaneous love, unmotivated, tvananya bhakti. So he is practicing, it's called aroha siddhi bhakti. It means that he knows what is pure bhakti, and he has that conception, and through his intelligence received from Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, he is keeping that in mind, and he is performing his sadhana bhakti with this as his goal. So that is buddhi yoga. And Krishna supplies that intelligence so that we can come to pure bhakti, prem bhakti. So this is very important to understand. There is one sloka, right? Where are the glasses? Premanjana charita bhakti vilochanena santak sadeva hridayeso vilokayanti yam shama sundaramachincha gunasvarupam govindamari purisham tamaham bhajami. Right, this is prem bhakti. This is Lord Brahma. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the original Lord, Purushottam, the ultimate form of Krishna, who is Shyam Sundar, Kṛṣṇa himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees, the undivided devotees, without desire for bhukti, mukti, siddhi, see in their heart of hearts, with the eye of devotion, tinged with the salve of love. So they see Krishna because this is what Krishna is talking about. You can't see me if you have mixed bhakti. You can only see me if you have this pure bhakti. And so in this purport, there is this very important section to clarify. When Krishna manifested himself in Vraja, both the devotees and the non-devotees saw him, because this is about seeing Krishna. The non-devotees, the devotees, they saw Krishna. With this very eye, but only the devotees cherished him, they loved him, eternally present in Vraja as the priceless jewel of their heart. Nowadays also the devotees see him in Vraja, in their hearts, saturated with devotion, even though they do not see him with their eyes. The eye of devotion, mentioned in the sloka, is nothing but the eye of the pure, unalloyed, spiritual self, the soul of the jiva. The form of Krishna is visible to that eye, the eye of the soul, the eye of pure consciousness, in proportion to its purification by the practice of devotion. When the devotion of the neophyte reaches the stage of bhava bhakti, the pure eye of that devotee is tinged with the salve of love, the eye of the soul, not this eye in the face. It's tinged with the salve by the grace of Kṛṣṇa, which enables him to see Kṛṣṇa face to face. The phrase "in their hearts" means Kṛṣṇa is visible in proportion as their hearts are purified by the practice of devotion. The sum and substance of this sloka is that the form of Kṛṣṇa, who is Shyam Sundar, Natavara, best dancer, Muladhar, holder of the flute, Tribhanga, triple bending, is not a mental concoction, but is transcendental to and is visible with the eye of the soul of the devotee under trance. So Kṛṣṇa, this is what Kṛṣṇa is talking about when he says divya chakshus. It's the eye of the soul. We are a spirit soul, but now in this conditioned state, we are seeing through this eye. We are hearing through these ears. We are tasting through this tongue. We are touching through the skin, so on and so forth. But the liberated devotee is seeing through the eye of the soul. The soul is seeing through these eyes, hearing through these ears, but it is the soul that is doing the seeing and touching and hearing and smelling and tasting. So the devotee learns pratyahara. This is an important part of bhakti sadhana. Pratyahara means the devotee learns the skill of withdrawing his consciousness first from the external world, and then the focus of the consciousness is in the body. Then the devotee withdraws the consciousness from the external body into the mind. And then within the mind are the thoughts. So then the devotee withdraws his focus from, this is called vipassana, withdraws the consciousness from the thoughts into the substance of consciousness. And then he withdraws from the substance of consciousness to his atma, his eternal self. And then within that atma he withdraws to atma atma. That means the soul of the soul. So Kṛṣṇa is guha. He is within the guha, the secret place of the soul. So the devotee, when he's skilled at bhajan, he withdraws from the external world, withdraws his consciousness from the body, from the mind, from the consciousness, to within his very soul. And there he meditates on the nāhaṁ, rupa, guna, lila of Kṛṣṇa. And he meditates in the mood of selfless devotion. Kṛṣṇa, you are everything to me. I offer myself to you. All, and this is what's meant. What Kṛṣṇa says, manmana bhavabad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskaru. I offer myself to you. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram pitita mam vishave evaṁ-vidho kripaya tava pankaja stuti dali sarisim vichintaya. O son of Nanda Maharaj, I have fallen in the material world. Pick me up. And then what's the next sloka? Nayanam gladashrudharaya. Oh, feeling your separation. This is the progress of bhajan, internal bhajan. I feeling your separation. One moment seems like of separation is like a yuga. And then that leads to prem bhakti. So that has to be performed within the soul, within the consciousness. Yes, we start from the gross plane. That is in the second chapter, sloka 49. Krishna says, do all your activities as an offering to me. Right? So we have work in this world, do it all to me. But as bhajan progresses, we should learn the ability given by the acharyas of this internal worship. And that is mentioned as we see here in the Brahma Samhita. And so we should learn this from Shiksha Guru, from Guru, how to meditate within Krishna. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. So that Smaranam means within the soul, on the spiritual platform. So the devotee withdraws learns the art of bhajan, and you find in the 13th chapter of the Gita, Krishna says, withdraw from asatsangi tyagi, withdraw from them, find a nice place and do bhajan. Just like Maharaj Bharat. But we shouldn't do that at an immature stage. But we should know these processes. We should know these. And we should go on, Shravanam Kirtanam. And when our Shravanam Kirtanam is bearing fruit, what will happen is that we will spontaneously remember Krishna. And then we have to develop nāhaṁ, the rupa of Krishna, the qualities of Krishna, the leela of Krishna within our chanting. So that is the advanced stage. But we should know it. We should know the path. And how to walk it, Krishna Tvananya Bhakti. We do it not for ourselves, but for the pleasure of Krishna. When I am your pure devotee, Krishna, my service will be more pleasing to you. So the devotee wants to advance so that he can perform better service. He can perform service that is in prem bhav. Do you understand? He's not doing it, if I attain prem bhav, then I'll be so blissful, I'll enjoy. No. That mentality will slow him down. Everything is, I want to advance so that I can serve better. Is this point clear? Then you will be able to see Krishna. Sevan mukhi jivado swayam eva spurti. Krishna reveals himself. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So always keep this in mind. I'm going to the temple for the pleasure of Krishna, for the pleasure of my Guru. I am doing some service for the pleasure of my Guru, for the pleasure of Krishna. I'm coming to the class for the pleasure of Krishna. I'm taking prasadam for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna and Lord Chaitanya. Do you understand? That is the spiritual platform. So understand that very closely and cultivate that. I'm acting for my spiritual master. I'm acting when my spiritual master is pleased, then I'll attain Krishna. Oh hey Vaishnava Thakura Doyara Sangara. Oh Vaishnav Thakur, please give me your mercy. I'm your servant. Right? So this is Seva Bhav. And this has to be cultivated, and then we can make rapid advancement. Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, Kami. These are compared to ghost. Pisachira kole. Lord Chaitanya, Bhakti Vinod said, Jeev jago, Gora Chandra bole, Pisachira kole, Kota Nitra jayo. Don't stay asleep in the lap of Maya. She's like a witch, and she's bewitched you thinking, oh, I'll become a devotee. I'll get a big position. I'll be famous. I'll get a big samadhi, bigger than anyone in the world. No. The great secret is, let me become a devotee so that Krishna and my spiritual master are pleased with me. Right? That is seva bhav. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Any question? No? Okay, everything is clear. See you next week.